Interactive Central and Eastern Europe Festival, presented by Orange, driven by Toyota Hybrid, in association with Xaxis.
Well, buona dimineața. Last night I was asking, what's Romanian for good morning, and this morning I was asking what's Romania for where is the closest pharmacy, and give me your strongest painkiller, please. So I'm going to be brief unintentionally, because I cannot really spend much time here. I'm also going to be unintentionally funny to contrast with Jeff's comic charisma. Just a few words. Am I pressing the right one or press this one? My back doesn't work, my presentation doesn't work. What else? This is my lucky day. Was that the strongest painkiller line? Yeah, but I can take it from here. First of all, let me say that we as IAB Europe congratulate both Dragos and Odysseas and the Think Digital team for putting together for the last few years a magnificent event for Central and Eastern European Europe. We are delighted to be supporting it and be part of it. So congrats to both, and we very much look forward to the discussions and the debates over the next 2 days. Now, I'll go through this very quickly because most of you are familiar with what we do. We protect and promote digital business. We bring together 27 national IABs and 60 plus corporate members, mainly to protect our industry, and this is Brussels work, but also to promote it with research and marketing work and standards work and so on. Now, I'll go very quickly. This presentation does not include wearables, virtual reality, and Internet of Things, because I think that if we try to focus over the next 12 to 18 months, what's around the corner, these things are going to take a while before they impact our business, let alone have, let's say, workable business models. Still, if we talk about megatrends, trying to set the scene for the discussions that we're going to be having today and tomorrow, we could very easily sum it up and say, the rise of mobile, social, programmatic, video, native. Which means, therefore, that in the future, all advertising will be in native video form, purchased programmatically, shown on a social media platform, on a mobile device, and we could end here. However, it is not as simple as that. There are quite a few key issues, and I've separated about 8 of those. If one goes deeper, one will see that there are big question marks. Known unknowns and unknowns, and unknown unknowns, as Donald Rumsfeld would have said, that in a very conspicuous or not manner will shape our ecosystem in the months and years to come. Now, the way I frame this is big question, big issue, and a speculative statement, also known as guess. First one, universal IDs versus cookies, the perfect oligarchy or the imperfect democracy. There's a big issue concerning the unique IDs that large global players with their unique technology and insights are developing, that are essentially becoming a deterministic rather than probabilistic way of profiling audiences, and therefore creating a new infrastructure, a new base for the next generation of digital advertising. Now, there is a risk that this could create potentially a two-tier advertising ecosystem between the few global players that have this and the many that do not. My take is that this cannot be, and that eventually there will be some form of convergence. The second one, I'm going through this very, very fast. I can be here for 2 hours, but today I could not be here for 2 hours, but in general I could be here for 2 hours. The open internet versus walled gardens, and that mainly concerns the devices you all hold in your hands. Apps versus mobile web, big debate. My take is that apps are like the new bookmarks. How many apps do you have on your phones? And I mean net, not the apps you have for your kids. Your apps. There are few, just like the bookmarks of 20 years ago. So, because of ease of use and limited time, mobile web is there for promotion, but the graduation products are apps. And in the short terms, hybrids will remain niche. The third one, performance metrics and pricing. That's another key issue to look into. My take is that there will be a continuing bifurcation in terms of metrics, CPC or CPL, CPA, and engagement branding metrics. I think cost per time will stay niche for a while yet, and programmatic certainly does not help its development. EGRP will not take off shortly. And expect more dynamic elements to be introduced to pricing or creative options, and that includes viewability and targeting. In terms of the programmatic battleground, because do not hear or do not take into account all the nice things you hear about programmatic. In the end, there is a big battleground element into it. I think mobile and video will migrate faster because fragmentation is higher. And I think the key parameters of data wars have to do with the size of the country and the relative oligopoly or oligopsony. Very powerful publishers in a small country may mean that publishers have the upper hand, and the inverse will hold. That will also shape the RTB versus direct and the open versus private midterm equilibrium. In terms of creation, delivery, and discovery, I don't want to say too much about this because I think we have a great panel at 12 o'clock with some leading publishers from around the world, Europe and around the world, to debate in depth issues that actually are top of mind for the publishing sector. But certainly we're talking about a new content value chain with, as I see it, power moving to the edges to a degree, which means on the one hand the creation, which means authors and niche players, and the discovery, which means your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Googles, your aggregators, the ones that offer content discovery experiences. There's a lot of things that publishers could do. I will not go into it. Personal view, we'll be discussing this at 12 o'clock, so make sure you're there. I think it's stage number 38 or something, 3. The shift to mobile, yes, but how? Now, for those of you that saw Mary Meeker's recent report, I think it was 10 days ago, the advertising pivot, the marketing pivot, it's still slower than user adoption, but mobile will remain clearly ahead of tablets. According to recent research, the mobile money will come equally from, let's say, new money, 1/3, print, another third, and there is going to be, and be prepared for that when you plan your business models, from a digital substitution effect, which means desktop, laptop. We may be seeing that fusion of phablets in 3 years' time, and that may mean that better wearables will be the small device we use. Native, niche or mass, big debate, and we're going to be bringing that on as well at the publisher panel. Is it going to be niche or is it going to be mass? Well, my take is that premium scale, premium native, truly premium native, will scale only organically, which means through the publisher, through cross-promotion, through social media. And there are going to be 2 layers, which means premium, high-value native, which is tied to a publishing brand, and then you have the commoditized newsfeed placements. And for those that think that native is really going to become the dominant way of advertising, possibly because of the ad blockers movement and so on, I would suggest that you mind the banner comeback, which is powered by Programmatic, new creative standards, data-driven, some of them, and enhanced targeting. And finally, the mother of all wars, digital video, which is where a lot of the digital money is increasingly flowing. It's a Facebook versus YouTube, let's be honest, in terms of the two giants in this space battle. In the near term, Facebook appears to be a reach and virality play, and YouTube shifts to become a quality, believe it or not, high engagement option with deeper content and services. My take is that pre-rolls dominance will recede and in-view and branded content will gain share. And now really, thank you for your attention. And where is the closest pharmacy, for Christ's sake? Anyway, thank you very, very much. Have a wonderful conference.
Interactive Central and Eastern Europe Festival, presented by Orange, driven by Toyota Hybrid, in association with ICEEfest.